significantly, but I mean, the point is well received. Now is the time for every one of us to play our parts. Well, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman has been playing his part for 6 straight years, and it's a great honor and pleasure that I invite him to give the keynote address and formally declare this year's summit open as it's done in the past 6 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Executive Governor of Lagos State, His Excellency Governor Akantafe Raji Fashola.
Thank you. Good morning. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and contrary to what TA, our very irrepressible compare, has wanted you to believe that this is simply about passion and not about business. I tell you, this is serious business. And I see that the applauses have been rather sparing. Are you conserving applause? You can applaud as much as you want. I assure you that even our very distinguished speaker, David Kapman, will agree with me on this one. There are no climatic change effects if you applaud. So there is no need to conserve the applause. But clearly, there are things that we must conserve. And that really is the heart of the matter. The challenges that we face today have arisen only as a result of the choices that we have made. And it lies with us to make those choices. And this is why I am very delighted to continue to talk to young people, especially our children, to whom this planet truly now belongs. It's not a matter of the future anymore, it's a matter of today. And the earlier they understand that they must not make the choices that we make, and we must make some of the choices that we have made, then the quicker we will be on our way. Even when David says that the hour is late, but it is not too late to make the change. And those choices lie in the way, first, that we have multiplied our own numbers. And whether we like it or not, we must slow down. And our numbers have grown more rapidly in the last 50 years than they have grown in all of human civilization. We have suddenly become 7 billion people on the planet, and increasingly heading towards being 10.5 billion people. And if there are already challenges for looking after 7 billion people, it seems very simple logic to me to say, let us slow down more people come in so that we can look after those who are already here. It's not very simple logic to me. Now, you are not going to have a government making laws to say, don't have more babies. You and I have to make those choices now by looking at our resources and asking ourselves, what can my resource support? And even when your resource can support the choices that you have made, you must now ask yourself also, should I leave some so that my neighbor can share if he is also making a choice? And so as we gather today for our 6th summit, our annual convergence of ideas, ideas and solutions. I'd like to thank all our distinguished resource persons and participants who have put their very prolific skills and knowledge at our disposal. And I dare say that we have not been afraid to test those ideas and to test those skills. And the commitment with which we have addressed issues of climate change and the threat to our environment has helped us, as it were, to stay abreast and safe relatively against the hazards of nature. Yes, we have heard how difficult it has been for nations to enforce agreements that they made. The reason is not simple. The reason is not difficult. It's simple, rather, to understand why those agreements are not implemented. I have made the point here before that heads of national government are too far removed from the devastating impact and consequences of adverse nature changes. At the best, what you always get is a helicopter visit in Nigeria and in America. And long after that is gone, is the head of the subnational government, the city mayor, the local government chairman, who is left behind to deal with the realities and the consequences of adverse consequences of nature. So, and I have taken the point since our meeting of governors in California several years ago, that we must drive the agenda at the subnational level and lead the kind of change that we want. In any event, where is any nation without its component subnational units? So, the points that have been taken in the keynote speech are well taken, but it is for people to understand that if you do not feel directly the impact of an event, the only way you can engage with it is at a superficial level. I feel the pain of people who look up to me and my colleagues on a daily basis to take them out of flooded areas. I feel the pain of people who have to deal with the adverse consequences of unusual and heavy rainfall. So the shoe pinches in a way that makes me uncomfortable, and therefore my colleagues and I are always compelled to act. And that is why, even though we are 2 meters below sea level, even though we are a city-state of many small islands, even though the threat of coastal erosion from the Atlantic is really here, by sheer hard work, innovation, and a can-do spirit, we have kept Lagos flood-free and safe. From the very first summit, when we accepted the inconvenient truth and dimensioned the enormity of the problem, at a time when others thought that we were alarmist, to subsequent summits where we resolved to mitigate and to adapt, we have run with our solutions and they have worked. The Eco Atlantic City project and the Great Wall of Lagos, spanning 7 kilometers, is a mitigation and adaptation strategy that has helped to protect the Victoria Island, return businesses to its waterfront, and create jobs and economic opportunities. Trust me, there is no adverse climatic change effect if you are abroad. So feel free to do so. The Lagos Independent Power Project, the Akute Independent Power Project, and the Alausa Independent Power Project, which have helped to provide steady, clean gas-fired energy, are mitigation strategies that have resulted in the decommissioning of hundreds of diesel-fired generators to reduce carbon emissions. In Alausa alone, where our offices are, we have identified 141 generators of various capacities for decommissioning. Incidentally, it was in matter we discussed in the Executive Council meeting yesterday. But when we switched on that plant, we identified 120 generators. We found 21 more. So that takes us to 141 inefficiently fired diesel generators, increasing carbon emission levels that we are decommissioning and taking out in order to build a cleaner environment. Our shoreline protection of 12 runs, out of which 6 are almost completed, are helping to slow down erosion of the Atlantic coastline and protect homes in Goshen Beach Estate, and will ultimately restore and protect lands lost to the sea up to the Alpha Beach. Our energy conservation initiative, which has now reached our schools, is helping to increase awareness from trade and to develop a new generation of energy-conscious and conservation-disposed citizenry. I could also mention our tire recycling initiative at Olusoso, or the methane gas extraction project also at the same site, or our energy bulb retrofitting project in Alausa, which is saving taxpayers money on energy consumption for business of government. The list of initiatives are long. They also include massive desilting of drains and construction of drains to mitigate the impact of flooding as a result of heavy, unusual, and unpredictable rainfall and high water levels. Year on year, we are getting better with our initiatives. But really, that is not why we gather today. We gather today because, as you will see from this year's theme, we are determined to turn the adversity of nature into a source of prosperity for our people. I believe that if our money is there, and if we see money in it, it is easier to reverse some of the choices that we make and make new choices. And the single most important item of economic and social concern today is unemployment and dwindling job opportunities, especially on this continent where there is a lot of growth. Our responsibility is to find new economic frontiers and lead our people to it. From all the initiatives I have enumerated, which were geared towards adaptation and mitigation, several thousands of jobs have already been created. The Eco-Atlantic City project employs 2,000 people. The Growing Construction project employs 300 people. The Alausa, Lagos, and Akute Power projects employed 259 people collectively. Our tree planting and landscaping initiatives have employed 56,019 people. Sources of alternative energy, such as solar panels being manufactured and installed, are creating new knowledge, new skills, and new jobs. We think that there is more. We dare to be innovative. We see the glass as half full and not as half empty. We are looking at new designs for energy conservation in our new homes, the Lagos homes. We are looking at piping LPG gas as a preferred cooking fuel into these homes. We are also looking at how to get professionals to assist in identifying owners of ocean-going vessels that are being abandoned on our shoreline. We intend to pursue claims against such owners for ecological damage. Beyond these opportunities, we are emerging across the world. There are emerging across the world opportunities for insurance business to secure risk of damage to public assets that were hitherto once thought to be uninsurable. These are both modest examples of the possibilities we see from a new economy, driven by innovation and a spirit that will not surrender to the attack of nature. This is why this year's theme is exploring business opportunities in climate change and adaptation, with our state, Lagos, in focus, because we see opportunities for businesses and for jobs. This is why I am delighted to be here this morning to wish you all very fruitful and result-oriented deliberations as I now declare this 6th conference open. God bless you.
His Excellency the Governor. The Governor said he will not tax you for clapping, so a big round of applause. At this point, I like His Excellency Exco Member here present alongside our resource person to please come for just one group photograph. Yes, sir. Some people can come on the stage, some can come on the stage. We have not said anybody is your honorable commissioner. I can't say you are short. But some people have shortcomings. And some people, they come up short always. This photograph session formally opens the conference. I'd like to hand over the microphone to the Distinguished Permanent Secretary to formally do a vote of thanks. Engineer Akin Ogunbabi will say a vote of thanks, and then we'll call the first set of panelists as we begin the 6th Lagos State Climate Change Summit.
Excellency, the Deputy Governor, Princess Adejoke Orelope Adefure. I want to cast our mind back to year 2009 when we started this journey of climate change summit. Our detractors asked us, what is the business of Lagos State with the climate crisis? They also said, what is our contribution to the carbon emission in the world? We, a tiny state in Nigeria, the smallest state, ladies and gentlemen, we have gone a long way. We had the Honorable Commissioner told us that from 2009 to now, we have increased capacity in understanding the challenges of climate change, the vulnerability. We have gone ahead to discover mitigation and adaptation strategies to fix climate change problem. Apart from that, we have come up with a roadmap which is coming up in form of the climate change policy to deal with the consequences of climate change. Now, this year, we're looking at how to convert climate change liability to asset. We are also looking at how to convert our waste to energy, to wealth. We've had from Mr. David Hadley, who said the time is now. It's either we solve it or we perish with it. Also, we had His Excellency talking about why we needed to do what we're doing, why we needed to continue to host this climate change. Ladies and gentlemen, it takes the political will, the wisdom, and the vision of somebody in this hall to actually discover that, look, the economic prosperity that we're enjoying in Lagos State can actually be wiped out by just one single climate change action. And that person is Mr. Babatunde Raji-Fashola. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency for the role he has played in escalating the knowledge, the ability to resolve issues related to climate change. Also, I want to thank the Lagos State Executive Council for giving support to every climate change summit that we have had, especially the Honorable Commissioner. I want to thank our different excellencies from the embassy. I want to thank the academia. I want to thank our school children for showing up. I want to thank our NGOs, C40s, multilateral agencies. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, I want to thank you too. Nicole Nibadio.
On that note of Thanksgiving, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency has declared the summit open. Shall we rise for the national anthem as His Excellency reports? Once again, listen.